nor it ever dies. It doesn't come into being, nor it can rise from anything. For the soul is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and primeval. Even though the body is slain, the soul is not. O Arjun, you are the soul, I am the soul, and so are these kings. Such profound literatures, Stuti and Smriti, to hear and to recollect knowledge, to understand soul is prevalent all around us, that I can only hope this mere speech of 6 minutes can help you come a little closer to soul. Today there is enough scientific evidence to prove its existence, but the scales to measure the soul is not present in the dimensions that science and the external influences work upon. Since we have taken the human form, it is a desire of every human being to be a better version of himself, to improve. And in order to do so, most of us are involved in grooming our outer world, forgetting that it is a mere reflection of what lies within. I'll come straight to the point. I will give you a brief description of the structure of the inner human beings to help you understand the working and identify where the soul lies. Is it visible?
Yeah, that's visible.
Our inner system comprises of DNA and genes, senses, brain, mind, and here soul. Brain and ego resides here, mind resides here, the soul resides in the navel, and we comprise of two more inner very powerful influences, that is DNA and genes. Primarily, the DNA is what consists our physical structure that we have inherited from our parents. It is not in our control. Our health majorly depends on it. So it is best to understand the consequences and adapt accordingly. And our interference will not work on it, no means what we try. Secondly, the senses are the medium of our exchange with the external world. They are controlled by the DNA for sure, and the mind. The mind creates the vibes of likes and dislikes in the senses. People do try to tamper with the senses to suppress the poor senses and elevate the good senses. But I'll ask you a question: when is your mind most joyous? When it is overflowing with the senses, or when it suppresses them? Of course, you know the answer. So it is best left senses alone to function according to the secret laws of nature. I'll then come to the functioning of mind, which resides here. Mind is what holds the reins of the life. It has such centers of power that our entire life revolves around it, knowingly or unknowingly. Basically, one contradictory thing about life is that it has imprints of all our past births, and so does our senses. Most of the habits, our talents are of this life, majority of them are not what we have learned and accumulated in this, rather fruits of the past, the karmas that we have accumulated in the past births. The mind, the DNA, genes, and the senses work in automation mode, always. But they can be suppressed with the help of brain and ego. Brain and ego, this is the superpower of brain and ego, that is our asset of the current life, that can maneuver the direction of all our senses, mind, and basically our entire life around, knowingly or unknowingly. Brain is a thread that connects all the senses along with the mind and decides our day-to-day actions. coming over to soul. Soul is just a witness, a spectator to this play of life unfolding in a human life. This soul, imagine it in sort that there is an emotion arising in the mind and the brain decides what to do about it, about the desire. There is something that inside you that is aware of this play between mind and brain, and that something is you. That you is soul. When you think of it in this way, the closer you are to your soul, the system of human, that is mind, ego, senses and brain, will work in an auto mode wherein they will work through the forces, secret forces of the nature in such a way that life will automatically take a positive turn, no matter how you try to control it. So the question arises, how to be anchored to the soul. History has been witnessed that none of the suggested paths in our religions has helped an individual attain that self-enlightenment. So it has always been a spontaneous individual phenomena, never a mass occurrence. Hence, the basic question of being anchored to your soul is fundamentally wrong, because when you yourself are pure soul, how can you be anchored to it? Only when you consider yourself as the mind, brain, ego, that you try and tamper with the functioning of them, the more detached you become from the soul. So, in order to gain proximity to the soul, you have to remove this illusion of being the mind and brain and ego, and you will see the witness, you will be the witness of the play unfolding through the human system by the secret forces of the nature, being soul being the witness, and you will see the everything around you taking a turn for positive. A wise man can from this right moment be a witness to the play of the life. Thank you.